Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Razzqia Masya. So in this video, for the English task that given by my lecturer Miss Aimsa, I will review the news in Parung Panjang, Bogor, West Java. So I will review with my own word. So I'm so sorry with my English and correct me if I'm wrong. So for the first news, that is from Republic website. So before that, in Parung Panjang there has a mining company, but they didn't have a whole road. So the people of Parung Panjang really hope that the whole road will be realized soon as possible. And then for this reason, they are, or the Parung Panjang residents, urge the Bogor Regency government together with the West Java provincial government to immediately realize the whole road that had been designed since the era government Ahmad Heriawan. So there are some residents with the initial CAS 41 years said that the condition of the Parung Panjang road was damaged at several points. Because like the dry season, there are so many dust everywhere, and while in the rainy season, there was a water hole because there was just 3 years for the road being passed by truck and the big vehicles every day. Even though it hadn't been repaired, the damage occurred again because that is being passed again by the big truck, so there are some bigger hole again and like that. So since 2019 the government have issued a policy or rules for the mining company. The transportation of the big truck or big vehicles is only passed from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it's just 6 hours, isn't it? So for like that. And then CAS for the resident again say that since the limitations time that given by government, I think the village he or she thinks that the village has not been disturbed. Like I think before the rules there are many trucks parked in the side of the road, so it has disturbed the resident of the village. And then after that, okay, we'll wait. And then after that, there are a resident again that are named Asep. Asep said that there were 10 people whose work in the mining company as a mining truck driver. And then he said, if the mining works, if the whole road is realized, later in my village it will no longer be subject to dust rain, but cool rain will turn up. I mean, I hope that's so. So, in this news, the government related to the project development plan. So in the 2022 will begin the construction of whole road like that. So I hope that there is no just talk. I think in the 2022 it will be there, the whole road. So there was no complaint again with the resident of the village, right? And in the if you see in here the news of the limitation time, I think it will be um, you know, it will be harmful for the mining company. I think just like if the mining company have a like a 10 to 24 hours for the production the products, the mineral like that, but in here it's just a 6 hours, so I think the profit they have it low. I think just it is harmful for the mining companies, so I think the health road is important to build in there. And why the health road is the important things to build in that mining company. For the first reason, in the health point of view of health, in the village there are many of children, and then old people that they have a body immunity is less than young people. So I think it can impact in their health, like there is a dust there is dust in everywhere in the village, so it will consider in the lungs. I think there are some lung disease like hard to breathe, I think, for the children and the old people, and it's so awful. No, no, and I don't and I don't want happen like that. So I think the health is the health road is important. And then for the second reason is um, for the cost, cycle work, like what I said before, like mining companies have usually work in 10 hours to maybe it can be 24 hours, because the mining company wants to have a profit as many as possible like that. So if the government like have a new rules for the limitation times, because there was no hardware in there, I think it's make the profits that have a mining company is small. Anyway, I think like maybe a mining company like think like this is just a small mining company, we didn't need a whole road like that, and then the cost of whole road is so big. Meanwhile, there is money, government's money, but you know, if I don't think so, because if you didn't build the whole road, the profit that you have is small than if you build the whole road, right? Just thinking about it. If you didn't have a limitation time, so if you can work every time you want to product your production in the mining area, so the profit you have is bigger than before you have the mining companies have a whole like that. And then for the last, I think, I don't know, last but not least, the safety. In this news there is a complaint for the resident of the village. There are holes in there and dust everywhere. So I think it's thus everywhere is not impact for the health, but in the safety too. If there are dust in everywhere, so the side from and the side of our eyes to look um, in another place for far away is too bad, I think, because very close from the dust, you know. And the holes, there are holes, like if there are people who go through with their bicycle or motorcycle, and there is a hole, but they didn't know how deep that holes, and then there was an accident, there is a fatal accident, and then the mining company must have compensation about that. Like that. So I think it's so important to build the whole world, I think, in here. And then like that, so maybe just the safety does, and then the host, or maybe if in 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. there was a subuh time, there are people wants to go to mosque. We just walk, and then, or maybe a motorcycle or bicycle, and then there are a truck pass away in the way. Naudzubillah min dhalik, there is an accident, and we don't know. There is a safety too. I think it's a bad risk if you best risk if you didn't build the whole road like that. And then and now for the second news. Okay, for the second news is from Radar Bogor website. There are there are the accident, traffic crash for one truck called diesel with the two motorcycle in here, and there are one passed away. Look, and I don't know, but in this news they say that the cause of the accident is because the driver can control when he drive. I don't know, but I think this is a driver truck's mistake, because I think he didn't focus about his drive, so, or maybe he is sleepy, I think. I don't know. There is no word in news that say that he is sleepy. He in this news they just said that the driver truck can control while they drive. Oh my god, there are five victims, so four with a wound, with injury, so go to hospital, and one passed away. This is so beautiful, I think. Okay, back to the topic in the half road. And back to the whole road, like suggestion. So I would like to suggestion about nice thing that you can do to ensure your whole roads. Like the first is design them right. for if you want to build a also if you want to build a whole road in the greatest asset, you must be a greatest reliability. Just like the forest is designed them right. So design them right is the best. Like the whole roads have a crown straight section, super electric curves, safety berms, and drainage ditch on both sides. And then the second is ensure proper gate. And then so the ideal grade that will good in the whole road is between 8 and 10% with low rolling resistance of 2% or less. And then watch bends and thumb areas. And then this is important, so pay attention to road width, and because there are many trucks that have a different width, isn't it? So if you want to build the whole roads, you have to measuring about the weight. So the whole roads should be three times of the width of the widest truck. So tires are not pumping into a safety berms or dropping into the ditches. Oh, so it's so dangerous, I think. So next is use the proper material to prepare and maintain the road bed. So if the surface of the under the whole road is soft or maize, rolling resistance that they have in the whole road is high, and tires are allowed to sink, and it can be dangerous too. And then keep them clean. So if there are so many gravel in there, if you didn't clean, and make the truck is break quickly if you didn't have to clean them up. And then keep them watered, because it's important, because to keep the dust down to improve the safety. If you keep them water, the dust doesn't separate in anywhere, so this make the safety. And the next is educate the operators. This is important things, because if you educate the operators or a driver trucks, that can be accident like the news before I said, I think. Yeah. And then make the investment. Whole road maintenance sometimes takes a big seat to moving materials, but if poorly maintained road lead to damaged tire, damaged trucks, or reduced cycle times, the result is lost production. So I think this is important. So I'd like to suggest you, if the mining company want to make the big whole road, it must be like this. And there was 7 things to do to avoid whole road deterioration. Like, don't overload vehicles. So this is so dangerous, I think, because the weight is overload. And then ensure adequate the drainage to cover maximum expected rainfall. So I think the drainage is important too, to keep the for the power of the surface in the whole road, I think. Yeah, that is important. and keep digits and code clear, like I said before, and like that, and use the correct equipment and work method to maintain close flow, control dust, and repair surface depression, like what I said before. So I think if you didn't follow this I said before, suggestion before I said, I think there are a little accident. So because it is important for our safety in build of half road like that. So yeah, I think that's enough. That about them. I think it's about the half road, I think, and the two news in Parung Panjang Bogor. And I hope another mining company have learned with this news, so they can manage about the half road they have and protect the people around the mining areas. So the mining company have a good reputation from the resident of the village, and the resident of village or people around the mining areas keep comfortable about that. I think it's enough. Thank you for your attention, and sorry about my bad English, and thank you. Bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.